Hi guys, I thought I'd try out this new program called Teach Everything to give you some basic instruction because I'm giving you lots of instruction about this test that we're taking on Thursday. Okay, so yesterday we went over the first part of the test, which was reading all about the deputy principal story and the two boys, Luke Aldridge and I can't remember how to spell Turdzowick. And you answered some questions and you were going really well. I just wanted to mention a couple of things. All right, so you might be wondering what these little letters are, these M's and A's and E's, all in along the end of the question. And what that is, that's the level of achievement, merit, or excellence that you can get if you answer the question in a certain way. So for example, if you find in question 3, why can't Luke open the guitar case, and you say, well, he doesn't have the key, then you get an achieved. All right? Now if you go down here, why weren't any of them surprised at what was in the case? If you answered, well, because they all knew what was in the case, then obviously you'd be getting a merit. Now, if you are attempting one of the questions, let's say you attempt one of the questions, but you don't quite get it right, but you get it partially right, or you're on the right track, you just don't quite have it there. What you can do is you can get an achieved or merit. So for example, if you're going for an excellence question, how do we know the boys are worried that the deputy principal's about to find in the case? And you say, well, they seem a bit nervous. That might be good enough for a merit, even though we were looking for a bit more. Okay, so it's always worth, the lesson here is, it's always worth giving it a go, no matter what the question is. All right, provided that you understand it, hopefully you'll get part of it done. All right, so the next thing I wanted to talk to oops, well, that's interesting. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the poetry section. You're going to get a poem. It's not going to be this poem. It's going to be another one. You'll read through the poem and you'll answer the questions that follow. Okay? Some of these questions will ask you about what a metaphor or a simile, or they'll ask you what the impression is. Have a go at these right now, and we'll go over these types of questions. But really, poetry, we're looking at poetic language, and can you work out what the poet is talking about, what the poet might want, what feelings are evoked, etc. All right, and the same thing here. It doesn't matter whether it's a merit, an excellence, or an achieved. Just go for it. Okay. Now, the next, section 3 is a static image. Now, I don't have it here because it was messing up and I couldn't bring it into this program. But if you look at the static image in the hard copy that I've got, you have these questions that follow. Okay, so you'll look at that ad with the giraffe on it, okay? And you'll be answering questions like who's the target audience, and what you're going to be really being asked about, well, what is it that they're selling, and what devices are they using, what, language features, or are they using a slogan, are they using the slogan, or the I'm blanking on the name, sorry, or the logo is what I'm after. So you'll be thinking about things like that when you look at the ad and answering the question. Okay, so that's it on that test. Okay, you might be wondering why I have a picture of this lady from obviously a different century. Okay, this was my great-great-grandmother. And back in her day, I'm sure that when kids went to school, they had a very strict way of doing things, including a seating chart. Now, I know that this is sort of, you might think of this as kind of old-fashioned, but I'm thinking that we really need a seating plan in our class, because you guys are kind of coming in, and although you like to sit next to certain people, it's a little bit chaotic. So, but I don't want to impose a seating plan where you're sitting next to someone that you don't feel comfortable with. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask you for you to write down the names of one or two people that you feel that you could sit next to and get work done and not be overly distracted by them or want to distract them, and that you feel safe and comfortable next to. Okay? So if you could give me those two names today, that would be fantastic. Okay, so the final thing today is that I would like for you guys to open up your blog on either WordPress or Blogger, and I'd like you to invite me to join your blog, to invite me to follow you. All right, so that's done in a couple of different ways. But basically, once you have your blog up, I want you to just raise your hand and I'll come over and I'll work out, depending on which one you have, how to share that with me, the best way to share that with me. It could be just simply copying and pasting a link to your blog and emailing it to me, and that's probably pretty simple. But we'll see what the easiest way is. That way, I have a whole list, and I can follow all of your blogs, and I can have your work on me at any time, and I can see all of your work. Okay, so that's the last thing today. So get started on the poem, and then we will have a look at your blog, and that will be it. Okay, thanks. Bye.